Can you feel it, Leafs Nation? That familiar, nagging ache, a whisper of what if that echoes through every playoff run, every close call? It's the yearning for that elusive piece, the one that transforms a good team into a great one, a contender into a champion. For years, we've watched our beloved Maple Leafs dominate in the offensive zone, yet often the defensive side of the puck has felt like a patchwork quilt, functional but rarely spectacular. We've longed for a blue line that doesn't just defend, but dictates, that doesn't just clear, but creates. What if, after all this time, the answer isn't a pipe dream, but a tangible possibility, a dynamic right-shot defenseman with a cannon for a shot and a penchant for piling up points, who could suddenly, dramatically, reshape the very identity of Toronto's defense? What if the New Jersey Devils' financial woes are about to become the Toronto Maple Leafs' golden opportunity, bringing Dougie Hamilton, an offensive force, right into the heart of the six? The Toronto Maple Leafs are far from finished with their offseason maneuvers. With the 2025-26 regular season looming on the horizon, the front office, led by General Manager Brad Treliving, is still meticulously searching for ways to bolster the roster, to refine the edges, and to inject that crucial dose of game-breaking talent. And at the top of their wish list, it seems, is an offensively dynamic defenseman, a player who doesn't just patrol the blue line, but transforms it, adding a dimension of attack that could fundamentally alter the team's entire strategic outlook. This isn't just about adding depth, it's about adding a weapon, a catalyst for an already potent offense. Down in the Garden State, a fascinating narrative is unfolding, one that could have seismic implications for the entire NHL landscape. The New Jersey Devils, a team with their own aspirations, are reportedly looking to offload veteran defenseman Dougie Hamilton. The primary driver behind this potential move? A somewhat hefty contract that they inked him to as a free agent a few years back. Hamilton, now 32 years old, carries a significant $9 million AAV for the next 3 seasons. For a team like the Devils, who are navigating their own cap challenges and possess a burgeoning pipeline of young, cost-controlled defensive talent in players like Simon Nemec and Seamus Casey, that $9 million could be better allocated elsewhere. Imagine freeing up that kind of cap space, especially when you have promising youngsters on rookie deals who could potentially fill a portion of Hamilton's role. It's a classic cap crunch dilemma, and it's one that has put a premier offensive defenseman on the trade block. And this is precisely where the Maple Leafs enter the fray. According to a recent report from RG Media's James Murphy, citing an NHL executive source, the Leafs are among several teams who have poked around to gauge the availability and feasibility of acquiring Hamilton. The executive revealed, "Teams are calling on Hamilton now. I heard the Leafs looked into him. They're looking into multiple options for their blue line, and a lot of them have offensive flair. That's their strength. So there's a common thread with their trade targets right now, and Hamilton fits the bill." This isn't just speculation. It's a confirmation from within the league that Toronto's interest is real, and it aligns perfectly with their stated desire to enhance their offensive capabilities from the back end. The Dallas Stars, Detroit Red Wings, and Utah Mammoth are also listed as potential suitors, underscoring the league-wide recognition of Hamilton's unique skill set. For Toronto, the acquisition of Dougie Hamilton would be nothing short of transformative. Beyond the undeniable brilliance of Morgan Reilly, the Leafs' current blue line, while competent, often feels like a collection of similar archetypes. You have your steady, reliable defenders who excel at reading plays, blocking shots, and efficiently breaking the puck out of their own zone. And while those attributes are vital, they lack a certain dynamic, unpredictable offensive punch from the right side. Adding Hamilton to the mix would inject a desperately needed element of chaos, of creativity, of pure offensive firepower. For the first time in years, the Maple Leafs blue line could evolve from a functional unit into a genuine advantage, a weapon that other teams would have to account for. And let's be clear, Hamilton hasn't lost a step. Despite the whispers of his contract, his on-ice performance remains elite for an offensive defenseman. Just last season, in 64 games played, he notched an impressive 9 goals and 40 points. What makes those numbers even more remarkable is that he achieved them while averaging just 1951 of ice time, the first time he's dipped below 20 minutes a game since the 2018-19 season. This efficiency speaks volumes. Even with slightly reduced minutes, Hamilton continues to produce at a high level, showcasing his ability to impact the game offensively whenever he steps onto the ice. Beyond the raw point totals, Hamilton's underlying numbers paint an even more compelling picture of his impact. In his 13-year NHL career, he has had only one season where his on-ice underlying metrics, things like shot attempts, Corsi, and expected goals, XG, were below 50%. This means that almost without exception, when Dougie Hamilton is on the ice, his team is controlling the flow of play, generating more scoring chances and tilting the ice in their favor. He might not be the most defensively sound blue liner in every single isolated instance, but his overall offensive contribution and his ability to drive play consistently make his team better than their opponents. He is a net positive, a player who, despite any perceived defensive shortcomings, makes his team a more dangerous, more successful unit. However, as with any high-impact trade target, the biggest question looms large, a shadow over the tantalizing prospect of Hamilton in blue and white. What would it cost? And more specifically, how would the Maple Leafs make the money work? Currently, Toronto has just under $5 million in available cap space, and that's before re-signing restricted free agent Nick Robertson, who will command a new deal. Hamilton's $9 million AAV is a significant hurdle, one that cannot be cleared without some serious financial gymnastics. To accommodate Hamilton's contract, the Maple Leafs would almost certainly need to move out salary, either as part of the same trade or in a separate transaction. Players like David Kampf, Kaye Jarnkrok, or even Max Domi, who carry mid-range cap hits, immediately come to mind as potential candidates to be moved. This adds a layer of complexity to the negotiation, as it's not just about acquiring Hamilton, but about restructuring the roster to fit his salary. And that's just the Toronto side of the equation. What would the Devils demand in return for a player they're actively looking to shed? While it's guesswork, there's a plausible scenario where the acquisition cost, in terms of draft picks or prospects, could be incredibly low if the acquiring team is willing to take on the full brunt of Hamilton's contract. New Jersey's primary goal might simply be cap relief, making them more amenable to a deal that doesn't net them a huge return in assets, but rather frees up significant financial flexibility. The thought of Dougie Hamilton quarterbacking the Maple Leafs power play, firing pucks from the point, and creating offense with his elite vision is enough to send shivers down any fan's spine. He would instantly elevate the team's offensive capabilities from the blue line, providing a dynamic element that has been sorely missed. This isn't just a potential addition, it's a potential game changer, a move that could solidify the Maple Leafs defense into a genuine strength and push them closer to their ultimate goal. It's a high-stakes poker game where trail-living must weigh the financial gymnastics against the undeniable on-ice impact. So, Leafs Nation, what's your verdict? Does the prospect of Dougie Hamilton's offensive prowess outweigh the significant cap challenges and the potential cost of moving out beloved players? Can Brad Treliving pull off this intricate dance of cap management and player acquisition to bring this dynamic defenseman to Toronto? We want to hear your thoughts, your hopes, and your concerns. Dive into the comment section below and let us know if you think the Maple Leafs should go all in for Dougie Hamilton. Your passion fuels this conversation, so don't hold back. And if you want to stay on top of every breaking story, every trade rumor, and every thrilling moment of the Maple Leafs' quest for glory, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep the hockey talk buzzing.